Brady said a lot of unfinished business.
Oh, God.
He's not going to take that job for a decade.
I'm so tired of him saying that.
A lot of unfinished
He's won
business.
7 Super Bowls. What's unfinished? Christ.
You think Emilio Estevez resents his brother and father?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because he thought he was doing like the honorable thing. I'm keeping the family name. I'm not selling out like you guys. Yeah. And then those guys went on to have great careers, and he had to do Mighty Ducks 7.
He, I think, probably has one of the biggest gripes in like action movie history, right? Like being, spoiler alert, being killed off really early in the beginning of Mission Impossible 1. Because he could have had like a thriving career, like 7 movies in, if they kept him as like the tech guy or whatever.
Dude, you know, I was watching this video about Terrence Howard and how he kind of talked his way out of being in all the Marvel movies. And I got to admit, I didn't know the full details because it wasn't, he was the highest paid guy on Iron Man. He got more, I want to say $5 million for Iron Man. And meanwhile, Robert Downey Jr. made $500,000.
Their careers were going in opposite directions entering Iron Man. Terrence Howard was coming off of the Hustle and Flow success, and he was absolutely going to be maybe given the franchise or at least a co-headliner on the franchise, and then he was such an a-hole, according to reports. He played himself out of that and is now retired from acting, which I don't think he actually had the choice in. Hollywood decided they were done with him.
That's right, man.
But he did Breakfast Club like he had a legitimate star vehicle movie. He was. He
got off to a great start.
He was. I mean, he might not have been Charlie Sheen or Martin Sheen, but he got off to a start that isn't just Mighty Ducks jokes.
Well, no, it ended up with Mighty Ducks jokes. You know, like that's where it went for him. You know.
Apparently, he's doing a sequel to Young Guns 3.
Oh, that's
Old Guns.
The Kid. Good for him. So basically, Old Guns.
I've been seeing the commercials, Stugotz. I'm stunned you haven't said anything yet. The Top Gun commercials with Tom Cruise somehow still looking 30. Somehow it still looks modern. Like, of course, right?
Well, it's because the movie was filmed like 10 years ago.
Exactly.
Dan. Yeah.
That's when we started talking about it.
Remember way back when you and the Battery went down to fight with First Take? That very same week, we had Miles Teller on to promote Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, he got
yes. Yeah. It was our best interview from Radio Row, but he was there to promote a movie that is coming out in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
He got mad at you, Billy?
Yeah, I burned his burned his tongue with Cuban coffee. I told him you just got to drink it really quick, but like this one that they brought was really, really hot, and it burned his tongue, and he was not happy.
They brought us the star to Top Gun or a star to Top Gun.
There's only one star to Top Gun.
Okay, so what would I call him then?
Co-star. But there's only one star.
Exactly.
I don't know if you've seen
Tom
the marketing.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the marketing.
But
Tom Cruise's name is as big as the logo.
But you're saying the title shouldn't be co-star. The title should be co-star, but there's only one star as like one word.
Yes.
Question: are we going to get a cameo from Val Kilmer? I know in the trailers we see the picture of Val Kilmer on the wall.
Oh no!
But
Val's in it. Val's in it.
Is he?
Yeah, I've seen
it. Yes.
Like when they filmed this movie 8 years ago, there were set photos of Val Kilmer in a cockpit. He is actually running Top Gun, and he brings in Maverick to teach these students something new, even though Maverick has never been an instructor. And guess who one of the students is? Miles Teller. You know who Miles Teller is playing? He is Goose's son.
Oh!
And he hasn't quite forgiven Maverick for that time his dad died.
Forgive my ignorance here, but I thought that Val Kilmer, I thought I had read magazine stories that he was in physically deteriorating health that had left him in a very fragile state.
I believe now he is, but 8 years ago he was in better shape. Yeah.
Wow. No, I don't think that's true.
Jokes aside, Dan, I watched a documentary about this. I watched his documentary and he's losing his voice. There's something deteriorating his vocal cords.
Wow.
And so he has to talk to a voice box and stuff like that. But that doesn't stop him from sitting in the cockpit of a plane.
Right. I think since he looks so different now than he did in the original film, I assume they're working it in. I don't know how, but it's going to be kind of weird.
These were the original film.
Speaking.
They were sex symbols. Like
Yeah.
they were and
they're doing a. You know how they did the beach volleyball scene? They're doing it, but with football.
Whoa!
Yeah, I saw
Wow.
in the movie theater. I saw the poster, and at the top, it's Maverick on the back of his motorcycle and his aviator shades, and the Taiwanese flag is no longer on the jacket because they want to be successful in China. And on the bottom, there's a bunch of silhouettes, sweaty silhouettes playing football on the beach, which, by the way, I understand what you're doing. And you're like, you got to change it up, and it can't be beach volleyball again. But we have to remind fans and make them feel the nostalgia. Don't do beach football. There is only one beach football scene. That belongs to Point Break.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
It's damn true. Bodie's the only person on that beach that knows Johnny Utah's real identity because he balls out, and they go tackle, and they go into the ocean, and it becomes a thing, and then Bodie chills everybody out, and Rosie, who's a total hothead, who later on in that movie becomes an unclaimed piece of meat in Baja, he's like, don't you guys know who this is? Relax. It's Johnny Utah.
And they all get very excited because they know who Utah is because he was a legendary college quarterback.
The
But
Rose
Mike is
Bowl.
right. Yes, Bodie was the guy in that game forever. And then Johnny Utah shows up. And Johnny Utah flags Bodie down from like 30 yards back and tosses him in the ocean. And you think they're going to kill Johnny Utah right there.
Yeah,
like it's
before
over.
DK
Yes.
Metcalf, there was Johnny Utah chasing down Bodie. Yeah, dude, you need to see this.
It's a great
and
scene.
you need to see what he did in the Rose Bowl. He was having
Yes.
a great game until his knee got bent 90 degrees the other way.
Yep.
I can't believe you guys are still talking about these silly 80s movies as if anyone cares about Point Break.
They do.
And the nostalgia of Tom Cruise, who's now in his late 50s, running on a sandy beach in his late bleeping 50s, hanging on to, as I continue to mock just the age of our action stars, just all of them. Here's Tom Cruise saying, well, I've always been the biggest of the action stars, even though physically I'm probably the physically smallest of the action stars.
I mean, you're one to talk, considering we talk about 90s baseball all the time, especially me.
Whoa, shots fired. Wow.
I'll tell you, if there was a better action star out there than Tom Cruise presently, let he or she show their face.
Yep.
They're just simply no one out there that is better than Tom Cruise at the moment.
Yep.
Dave Bautista.
Best all time.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo. Who's better as an action star? Tom Cruise or Dave Bautista?
Davey Bats.
Yeah. Davey Bats is he hits a little range though. He's not all about the action movies, you know.
Billy, I wanted to ask
Hey.
you something because I saw a stat here that
I'm not your guy with that.
well, I in this I am going to put a statistic to a feeling, okay? Because the Marlins, I know they are frustrating in many different ways. They get off to a 12-9 start, and then they lose. They're losing all these one-run games. It's infuriating because like they're right there. It feels like they're right there, and they're to playing meaningful baseball, which is all you want. Not it just games that matter. But the stat I saw is what the Marlins pitchers, and this I thought to myself, this is the absolute worst defect for a Billy Gill team to have. In the ninth inning, the Marlins pitchers have a 6.95 ERA. They've given up 5 home runs. The batting average is .319, and the OPS is so high in the ninth inning, Billy, that basically everyone batting is Vlad Guerrero or Freddie Freeman or Juan Soto. Like everyone batting, that's what's happening to the Marlins in the ninth inning. And even if I couldn't give it to you statistically, I thought to myself, that's the worst feeling for Billy to have around his baseball team.
Well, Don Mattingly is the worst feeling to have on my baseball team. We don't need to get into that today, though. These one-run games, I mean, you'd think they're going to turn at some point, right?
Well, did you watch the West Coast ones? Though? Because
Come on, it's the West Coast. No, get out of here, silly. I saw Jorge Alfaro just friggin' destroy us with a 3-run bomb, who they got rid of, and then Francisco Cervelli, Marlins great. Was there? No.
He just stopped playing.
No,
though.
well,
he played
no.
for like a crazy long time.
He stopped after 2020 because he was on the Marlins in their magical playoff run, but he had concussion issues, so he had to stop playing. And now I guess he's a coach on the Padres, and then he was hugging Alfaro, who hit a ball to the moon, basically. Did you see how far that ball went, Dan?
Yep.
Holy crap.
449.
Why couldn't he have done that when he was on the Marlins? Just a question. Ever.
you're already living and dying a little bit in the fringes here. You're getting swallowed a bit by the Heat and the Panthers. Are you feeling any
Well, not for
envy?
long.
Yeah, okay, there's the real guy.
Wow.
There he is. There,
Wow.
now we got some
Learning
honesty.
against the
I
locals,
lured him. No, Roy, see, you called him out correctly on
I
what
predicted the Panthers and the Heat won't lose another game in the
That's right.
playoffs.
Yep.
So
You
No,
said it.
but you
Heard you.
did it. Roy
Quick
called
run.
you on your insincerity, and it has just been revealed because I did a bait and switch of getting you to talk about the team you do care about.
yeah.
Because very soon you're in prime position to make fun of the teams you don't care about, right? Because
I would never.
Well, but Billy, one of the joys, I've got to think this. It's got to be, how high on the list is this? The joys of fandom. Being able to bury one of your boys. Like, in the joys of fandom, your guy's team loses. Being able to bury him is like an acceptable form of cruelty. It's almost male intimacy on the highest form, that you can just hit your friend in a sensitive spot. Is this not what sports...
I wouldn't bury people though. Like that's the thing.
Billy, you've been predicting
Where's
all
the
year.
Ricky video?
Billy, where is the Ricky video? What happened there?
Where is it? We committed resources to that. People should see it.
I mean, can you help
We
me
can
here?
justify
That was
the
so well
cause.
done,
Tony
Billy. Way to
ha-
get the smoke off
I
of
mean,
you.
Tony has now gone on 2 trips, Ricky's Weed Farm and you in the All-Star game. And for some reason, the content that came back was not what it was supposed to be. I'm just learning about this because Billy keeps saying it. I had forgotten all about these
Well, there's
things.
also an LA tour, but that's another thing.
Where did all
He's
this
got on more trips
Where
than
is
videos
this?
produced.
Where
I
did
think.
all this footage go? Are we just paying Tony to take trips?
You guys thought
Fun
Lorenzo was
trips.
bad. Jeez.
What happened?
Look, what happened is the following. Billy is an evil cat and always wants to get ponete la
Me.
mano donde no están. Okay, that's the issue right here. It's getting hot. Let me take off my jacket. It's pissing me off.
Uh-oh.
Listen, the issue is the following. The Ricky stuff is so important.
Hold on, Tony. Tone slower, please.
Okay. Do you want me to flex a little bit like this?
Tony,
Got it.
how good must the footage have been from Ricky's Weed Farm? I'm assuming you like.
No, it was
what-
good. It was good.
No, but what happened to it?
So we had a guy, Hector, my boy, by the way.
Oh, for the
Shout out to
love of
Hector.
God. Metal Lark Media is taking Tony to California so he can have a guy Hector. I
Hector
can
had to
get you a
send the
Hector
video
in
over.
Hialeah.
I know. I should have brought the Hector from Hialeah, but we had the Hector in LA. The video transfers, we're trying to get it over here. We're putting things
It's a
together.
slow burn, that video.
Yeah,
It's a slow burn.
Yeah, video transfer.
You don't even have the video?
It's
Billy,
the internet, yeah.
Billy, is it
Coming by
gone?
covered wagon.
Billy, can I get
How many follow-ups have there been to Hector?
What? You don't have the video yet?
No, we have it. Yeah, we just got it. We literally just got it right now. It just
Hector's
came in.
busy. I
No,
mean, in
saw
their
it. I
defense,
did.
the
It's in
busy
Lewis's
guy.
computer. I saw it.
We're
It's coming
never
right
going to
now.
see this,
No,
are
we'll
we?
see it.
Okay, Tony, don't make me promises. Tony, don't.
No, you'll see it very soon. I promise. you.
Is it Lewis's fault?
No, it's not Lewis's fault. I'm the commander of the ship. I'm the commander of the ship back here. It goes with me.
Commander
Are you
of
with
the
Lewis on this one?
ship.
It sounds like Hector's fault.
I mean, I'm not going to throw Hector under the bus either. Billy threw me under the bus. I'm
All
not here
right,
to throw my
let's-
teammates
I
under
would
the bus
never.
either.
Billy,
One team.
By June, Dan, I promise.
One
Billy,
heartbeat.
getting back to, because I'm not going to let you slither around this. One team, one heartbeat.
What
I
happened?
believe that in the shadows, Billy is rooting. This is what I believe. You dissuade me of this. That Billy is rooting for Roy to have his heart broken in the worst possible
I would
way.
not want that to
Billy,
happen to Roy.
and he is rooting for Mike's Miami Heat to fall on
No.
their face in the first round.
I
or
believe the
second
Mike
round.
won, not Roy.
In the second round. Billy, you
No,
want
why?
because I believe you're an agent of chaos.
No.
And I don't know how much, and I don't know what you want Chris to suffer. Chris Cody and Chris Whittingham.
I don't want anyone to suffer. I want to go celebrate championships just like the rest of them. You know what I mean? I don't want to do the work that I need to do on the front end to celebrate those championships. I'll celebrate them when they come.
Oh, you mean like watch games?
I was watching yesterday, and I could for a fact I texted Tony and Lewis
Oh, yes,
during
you
the
did.
game, and they can vouch for it. Don't worry about what it says, but I did text
Oh,
them
no.
during the game. What's your problem with me?
No, I don't have a problem with you.
Well, what's
I just want to read the text. Is it bad that after? Is it bad that I just had the Panthers on, and 5 minutes I was like, "Why am I watching this? I don't actually care. Why punish myself?"
Whoa. That's a hockey fan right there.
See us watching.
I didn't want to
I
do
told
that to
you.
I didn't
Punish
wanna do that to you,
yourself.
but-
It's a fun
watching.
team. It's a fun team to watch.
I know. I watched.
Evil cat.
Ice Cat.
Evil ass
That's
cat.
what they call me.
Evil ass ice cat.
Evil ass ice cat.
You actively, quietly creaking in the shadows in the place last night. I want to know the truth as the answer to this question. When that puck is going down the ice and it's an open net, okay? Because Mike Ryan's got money in this series.
I was gone well before that.
Oh, you didn't.
You had him there?
I believe that Billy would have had a rooting interest at that
Listen,
moment.
man.
There are moments of truth in these things when you don't know how you feel about something until it arrives, because this happens all the time around
See, I
here.
texted Chris and Roy in game one.
During
'cause
game one, I got a text from Billy. What a goal!
See? I'm invested, man. I'm telling you. I've watched at least 2 of the 4 so far. No, I was watching it. I described it
You were
in
not-
great detail the next day.
You saw the highlight on Twitter.
No, I was watching it. I really was. I watched it. Goldie had a great call. It was one that was like from 40 feet away that went past 2
That's
guys.
when you tweeted playoff Sam.
Playoff Sam. Yeah. The only okay, guys, why would I know Playoff Sam unless I was watching?
Yep.
His name is
The
Benny.
announcer.
They call him Benny. No one calls
No,
him
Playoff Sam. He said that's why they call him Playoff
Completely
Sam.
make that up.
No, Playoff Sam's at the guys. This is a bunch of frauds around here. You guys aren't ice cats. You don't know that they
Amateurs.
call him Playoff
Yep.
Sam? Everybody does that.
Well, that could be Reinhardt, though.
See?
Yeah. See? What does that mean?
No, he's
Those two
so
Sams.
used to agreeing with your father just to egg him on that
Well,
he
they
stopped
go-
Thank
listening
you, Greg.
to him.
No,
That's why I
Greg's
call him
right.
Benny. Playoff Benny.
Yeah, Playoff Sam.
Let's get back to what it is that was the breaking news at the end of the last hour. Tom Brady, can we just watch and be amazed?
I thought you meant Nick Wright. That fraud.
We'll get back to that in a
Thief.
second as well, because I do want to drag Nick Wright, and I want to make fun of Mike Ryan a little more, because the fear has arrived. Maybe not for him, and he can put on a brave face. But tonight, if a shot's going up at the end with Harden, or there's a close game, or halftime, the Heat are down 6. And he's begging for Duncan Robinson. The fear is here. Like, people will deny it, and Heat fans will swagger. But you got 3 games to beat a team with 2 MVPs, and that looked like it was falling apart 2 games ago.
Right. But you want to get to Brady, a legend, and let's not forget another legend, Al Horford. Okay? At some
we
point
gotta,
today.
Yeah, we got to talk about big game
What
now.
a game.
Look at my hand, Dan. Steady. Not a move. Like Leo in The Departed. I am ice cold, brother. Totally good.
Yeah.
All right, I'll check
Don't
in.
ask for the left.
I'll check in with you in the second half. But I do believe rooting for the failures of your friends' teams and bets is something funny that people do with their sports fandom. But I think when you start betting against, Mike Ryan has bet on the Capitals as value. And at the moment of truth last night, he's rooting for something, and it's either his money or his feelings. And sometimes that shifts depending on how much you care, where you're rooting against your money. You're rooting against winning your bets.
Yeah, can't get to Caps in 7 with the Caps winning Game 4. Or that was Game 4 last night. So
Yeah.
I have the emotional hedge. I'm absolutely rooting for the Florida Panthers the entire time. I'm actually going to the game on Friday in Washington, D.C. I hope it's a closeout game. I love this Panther core. Been following them for many years. But entering the season, there was a tremendous value. And if you follow hockey, you knew that the regular season didn't exactly tell the full story of this veteran-laden champion team in the Washington Capitals. Former Panther Vinny Trocheck said that's a one team he didn't want to see in the postseason because of all the veterans, because the regular season did not tell the story. 3-1 on a team that just won a Stanley Cup championship against a team that hadn't won a playoff series in 26 years. I'll take my chances with that. I think it goes 7.
And as I said, that's a great number 8, 100-point number 8. You don't see that. But how unusual is Mike? I could not do that. If I were a gambler, I could not bet against my team and play both sides.
Why?
I would be too conflicted.
It's a win-win.
It isn't to me.
No, it's a win-lose.
I would be too conflicted.
It's a lose-win.
Yeah, you're guaranteed
No,
to
if
lose.
your team loses, you win money.
But it's a
if your
lose-win.
team wins, you
What's a
lose money.
lose-lose?
It's a lose-win.
It's a business
Yeah, it's a
decision.
win-win.
Like, I can take a treetop view
lose-win.
and say, as a fan, I'll be rooting for myself to lose money in this. But it's called the emotional hedge.
Okay.
Because if I'm devastated because my team loses, at least I get to cry on, plus 356.
I claim
Right.
that's unusual. I claim that most sports fans don't do that.
I do it all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, with the Jets.
Okay.
Mhm.
I wouldn't. Couldn't. Wouldn't.
I need something for all the
Shouldn't.
pain and suffering.
That's true.
It's a lose-win.
It's a win-win.
It is a
It's
lose.
a lose-win.
Semantics.
Greg, it's like
a lose-win.
it's like insurance, right? You pay car insurance and you hope you don't get in an accident. But if you get in an accident, guess what? Pays off.
It's like 10,000 spoons when all you need is a knife.
Yep. Well said.
And it's like meeting the man of your dreams, but then meeting his beautiful wife.
It's like,
Okay.
wait,
No, couldn't do it. I don't want to go both ways. I want to put my blinders on, have a rooting interest, and not worry about the periphery, not worry about money I've bet, money I might lose. I'm rooting for my team if I'm a fan, and that's it. Unadorned rootery.
But what Stugotz is saying is a win-win, that is a lose-win, is if you have got a rooting interest in your team and you have bet against your team, at least you win some money, and maybe that soothes how you hurt if
No.
the Capitals win this in 7.
Now, if you're a true fan, you're heartbroken if your team loses a major game, a playoff game.
But it soothes Stugotz's heart just a little bit. That
Okay.
cold,
Just a
cold,
little,
that
yes.
cold black heart that
I'd rather
likes
lose the money.
that likes cash. But at the moment of truth, I don't know which one Stugotz is rooting for. Whether I really don't know whether
Right.
I think
It's fair to analyze
I think the pull of money will never make it.
That's a good question.
I think the
I'm
pull,
always rooting for
I
money.
think the pull of money is undefeated in when it matters, when the tug is forced to Gotz's heart. I believe at the end of a game, if you're betting a lose-win or a win-win or whatever, that at the end what you're rooting for is your team to lose at this point.
You're right.
I think that's where we are with your
It
sports
depends
fandom.
on where we're at in the season, to be honest. Like, if they're already out of it, then
But with the Jets, we always know where it's
After
at.
3
Right,
weeks,
right.
yes.
And
Yeah,
so you're betting. I'm guessing that Stugotz bets a great deal against his Jets.
I do.
I've got no problem with the emotional hedge. I really don't. In fact, I actually think following the Panthers so closely gives me insight into making what I think is a good value play. Considering how juiced the Caps are, I think this is the right play, and it could also go 7 too, and I still win money.
But here's what I don't understand. Are you rooting for the Panthers to win, or are you rooting for
100%.
your bet? Because you
No,
can't.
100%.
But Mike, here's the-
all in.
Mike.
Even if I was vested to the point of like 20 units on the Washington Capitals, I'm always going to root for my team first.
Okay.
That to me is the worst problem, having my team lose.
So
just
you're
not
rooting
in
against
6
your
games,
bet.
though.
Dude, honestly, like I bet a lot. Like I'm used to losing bets. That shit happens. So if my team's gonna lose and I end up getting a big juicy bet out of it, cool. That'll make the landing a little softer. But I'm gonna be devastated if the Florida Panthers get eliminated. I love this team.
Let me play out this scenario with you because you have it going 7 games. So if the Panthers win tomorrow, you go to D.C. on Friday, you're rooting
Going
for
to
the
DC regardless.
but you're rooting for the Capitals. You won a 7th game.
No. But if we lose,
I think
we
that's the
lose-
problem Greg has.
If we lose, be like, well, we got a home game. It's going 7. I've already won one of my bets, one of my prop bets on this series. And if the Panthers somehow fail to win a first round series for the 27th year, I will be really crushed by it. But at least I've won a bet.
Greg, you don't root for the car accident. You just say, if I get in a car wreck, thank God I have the insurance. That's
Okay.
what's happening here. He's not rooting for the Panthers to lose, but if they do, nice to have that insurance to pay off.
Yeah.
Guillermo, put it on the poll, please, at LeBatard Show. Can you call yourself all in when you've bet against your team?
It's like seeing a no smoking sign on your cigarette break. That's what's happening.
Is that right? Is that what it's like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The 7-game thing is what's, problematic, to be honest. Well,
What,
because
the-
you're rooting for them to lose. You can't be all in if you're rooting for the team to lose on certain nights.
Approximations. I put in 2 different bets
Right.
entering this series. Caps in 7 and for the series to go 7.
Okay.
If it goes 7, I win money regardless.
Right.
If it's Cats in 6, all right, great. We won a playoff round. Let's keep marching on. I love hockey.
All
It's
right.
my passion.
That's
even though I don't know what a penalty is.
Not surprising that he would escalate the stakes so that Game 7 wouldn't merely be enough. It's raining cash just arriving there, and now he gets to be terrified as an added bonus. I believe Mike Ryan might be terrified by halftime tonight if they are down 7, like the Celtics were down yesterday before Al Horford came to the rescue.
Wow. You give me 5 Al Horfords. I mean, I'll go 500, but I will play basketball the right way. That man, did you see the ball fake? Did you see the ball fake? He ball faked from 3, got the guy up in the air, went baseline, and threw it down in Giannis's face, and then an elbow. That's what he's all about. Al Horford.
Not the guys, Stugotz. That was Giannis that he got up in the air.
I know.
I was watching that game on mute. It was on Panthers got the main TV with sound, but I was following that game, and there was a moment in this game. They're actually showing it on the TVs right now on Get Up, where Giannis just is just an absolute Greek freak, and he just uses his size, and he gets to the cup with ease, and Horford's the guy, and Giannis just like slams the ball down. The ball kind of hits Al, and he's like, I'm just too big. You can't stop me. And even in the moment, I was like, that was a really cool reaction by Al Horford, just to nod and be like, okay, you're big. I got it. I've been in this league for a long time. Talk your shit.
Okay, but
I can't
Mike,
do anything about that. And the fact that he gave it back to him later in the game, that is legendary shit from Al Horford. People are going to remember that moment forever.
But guys, Giannis is bigger and stronger and faster than Al Horford. Shouldn't he just cower and be scared and say, I'll just set screens and be a good defensive big and not try too hard because he's better than me? He's an MVP. What am I supposed to do?
Amin does this. Let me do something here, because Amin comes from a front office here, and these become some questions in sports, okay, of masculinity bumping up against each other. Here's Amin talking in a front office executive voice. He's telling, you can't be tougher than this, Bam Adebayo. Now look at what Bam Adebayo is. As a man, as a player, you can't be tougher than this, Bam? Really? You're scared that it's Joel Embiid and he's bigger, stronger, faster. But when you talk about this alpha shit that plays out in the stories in sports, okay, that was Al Horford dunking on Giannis and then kind of punching him in the face with his left hand. Like
That's what he does.
Al Horford is saying, I'm looking at this and I'm saying, Al Horford, you're going against Giannis. You should be scared. And Al Horford is saying, no, young buck. And I'm looking at it. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me that Al Horford at 35? At 35, as the game has Greek freaked around him, like it spun around him, and now it's Al Horford from the corner for 3, and I'm like, what the fuck is that?
That's Al Horford.
No, but it wasn't Al Horford in college. It's what Al Horford.
Whatever.
In order to stay in the league and keep up, it's what Al Horford has had to do. Now their centerpiece is gone. Their Time Lord was going to rescue them from some of this. Like he's out.
He's adjusted to the new NBA because he could step out and hit a 3. But trust me, Al Horford wants to spend the entire time in the paint.
Stugotz, at the end of that game, 4th quarter winning time,
he won it.
Stugotz, Giannis was exhausted. Giannis was tired in a way you're not used to seeing Giannis tired. They had to take him out at the 5-minute mark.
Yeah.
And it's because he's going toe-to-toe with Al Horford, not Tatum. Like, what the hell? What are you talking about? Al Horford, 16 or 18 4th quarter points. Like, what are you talking about? He's my closer. I mean.
But Dan, this is, sometimes I get surprised that these points are arriving at you for the first time. This is the ethos of the professional athlete. There's got to be a delusion in there that erases the massive gap between how good I am versus how good my opponent is. We talked about this with Eddie House, the idea about going 0 for 10 and then taking that 11th shot, and he's like, yeah, that means I'm due. Like, a regular person says, man, I don't have it tonight. Eddie House is like, no, that means right around the corner. And so the idea that, like, anyone would, particularly if you were a star-level player, right, would be intimidated or would be wary out there is just, to me, is kind of preposterous.
Let me frame it for you this way. And it's not, this to me, when you are cut from some of the diamonds these guys are cut from, you tell me that it means something that last night, when the Celtics needed to save their season against a guy called a freak who's a champion, okay, that we really like because he's super nice. Like, he seems nice, but we're waiting. Who's going to take the league from him? Love the internationalization of sports. We will embrace you like a superstar. And he's trying to play against these guys who have defensive posture, and Williams is out. He's trying to touch Jaylen Brown after a foul, and Jaylen Brown is saying, get your hand off of me. get your hand off of me, as Al Horford is dunking on him and punching him in the face and saying, I'm not going to be respectful of what your resume is here.
I love that you're applying the writer storyline to it. And with that preamble, I did not have Al Horford being the guy that took the league from Giannis. Looking at this stat line, I was watching. I couldn't believe it in it. Al Horford had 30 points in a must-win game for the Boston Celtics and saved their season.
Toe for toe. And he was trying to do it in Game 3. At the end of Game 3, he was carrying the Celtics.
That's absurd. Who could have seen this coming? Al Horford hasn't been close to the player that we saw last night.
Stugotz saw it coming. Stugotz has been telling you.
He looked sexy last night.
He looks great.
He's in the best shape of his life.
His dad looks fantastic.
He's in the best shape of his life.
Yes.
He looks lighter. He looked incredible. And I was watching him do that after he gave it right back, after he gave the business right back to Giannis a couple quarters later. Yep. And I was mildly attracted to Al Horford. I'll say that right now. I was rooting for the Celtics. I hate the Celtics, and I don't like Al Horford. He's a Gator. And through that gutsy performance, maybe it's the mid-30s guy in me. Maybe it's a fan of the nostalgic basketball era that he represents. Yep. Mm. But for that guy to take it to the young buck, as you put it, I became an Al Horford fan last night.
He's going to win Finals MVP. He's the oldest Celtic.
That's quite a leap.
He's the oldest Celtic to score 30 points in a playoff game since Havlicek.
Wow.
Hondo.
Was I the only person that was just totally drawn in by that performance and started rooting for the Celtics?
We saw an all-time performance. Look, Mike, to climb over your biases, to root for the old guy, your age, as I'm wearing orthopedics and you're walking around, your back hurts all the time.
Yeah, but I at least got fresh shoes, though. Just get the insoles. No one can tell. I'll help you out. We'll shop online.
No.
Get you on sneakers.
No, I can't.
The insoles are important, Mike's right.
It's about time you participate in a draw.
But wait, why are you being such a fraud about this, Stugotz? Because
I'm not.
Off air, you've been supporting me, and what is a genuine shame here. You keep coming over to me and saying, Dan, you got to let it fly and not care what everyone thinks. And as soon as we get to the microphones, you start saying the things that get you applause from people who want to celebrate you.
I said earlier, show up to that race however you want to show up to that race. I'm all about comfort. Being comfortable is the most important thing. Sorry, that didn't come out correctly. I can't speak right now. But what I'm trying to tell you, Dan, is you've arrived at an age, and I'm upset with you, where you shouldn't give a bleep about anything. And yet you're not embracing that and accepting that. You are choosing to look cool, which those shoes, not really that cool, not on you at least, okay? You are choosing those sneakers because you think they look cool over your personal health.
Yeah.
That is not good. Let it fly, accept what's happened to you. And what's happened to you is you're almost 60 and you're married. I mean, that's it.
And you're rich, too. You're rich, so don't worry about all this. Who cares? Exactly.
Almost
Who are you trying to impress?
No,
Exactly.
dude, you gotta care.
You don't.
You stop caring.
No,
You'll
it
see.
doesn't matter.
But the rich part, like, you should just hire a style. Like, if I was you, I would have someone come in and be like, make me look cool.
Don't do it, Dan.
That's worse.
Don't do it, Dan.
That's
because
worse.
the stylists will have you wearing jeans that are torn from like the hip all the way down to your
very
shin.
tight. Yeah.
I want you wearing, like, Dwayne Wade stuff. That's what I want.
Yeah,
No
there you go.
shirt on, but a blazer over it. Like, nah, man.
Just be Dan, man.
No. At an F1 race, you got to represent Miami. You're the face of Miami sports.
No.
You need to represent at an F1 race. You can't show up in orthopedic shoes and basketball shorts. No. You just can't do it.
Why is Whittingham howling with laughter in the corners of the room there?
Chuckle fest over here.
What are you laughing about, Whittingham?
You guys ate Billy's joke. He's going to make you look like Romero Brito. Just such a specific reference.
Ouch.
He looks colorful and wandering around the streets, hair unkempt. I did not.
But he's happy. You say he's probably happy.
I just want you to be happy.
I will say
me
this.
too.
I was happy at the race with my lovely wife, and I did not account for the idea that it would be a fashion show. It really didn't dawn on me. And it's only because I'm an idiot.
Hold on a second. Did your wife object at all to what
No,
it
but
is you
she
were
doesn't
wearing?
nag me, and
well,
she
that's
doesn't.
the only
she,
person
no, but
you
she,
need.
but
That's
she,
it.
but she does. I mean, one of the blessings of being married to her is that she seems to understand and accept me without requesting change that I don't volunteer for. and so like so she probably should have said something.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah.
She gets you.
Let's not
she
blame
gets
her.
you.
Yeah.
I blame Val. She's got to raise your game at an F1 race. Come on.
Are you looking at what's on your screen right now?
I'm not at an F1 race right now. I'm in a studio.
Oh my
Crying
God.
out loud. If I go to that F1 race, I'm gonna dress up. I might wear a nice pair of slacks. I'll wear a button-down shirt.
Pompadour.
You never know. I'll wear beautiful shoes.
I've got Greg wearing what do they call it? A seersucker suit?
If I
and
had
like a
one,
fedora.
Yeah, from Sears and Roebuck.
Yeah.
Sears sucker.
Oh, you love that place.
I would wear it if I had it, and a fedora. You're right.
Guys, I have an important update. Remember how we've all been longing to do an event at an abandoned Kmart? Yeah. So I was doing some research on this, and I was driving by the Kmart that I had my eye on 8th Street and 122nd Avenue. And here's the thing. They have a giant billboard as to how to lease this space, but also, and this is kind of like the concern, the parking lot, which was once vacant, is now filled with Amazon delivery trucks.
Ooh.
So I'm getting a little concerned that maybe Amazon's using that as like a little mini fulfillment center or something.
Right. Return stuff.
Yes, I'm gonna look. Well, I'm gonna look into it.
But you're trying to do a Moss event there? What are you trying to do?
Well, we all wanted to. I thought. If I remember how we were talking, we all wanted to do K-Moss. Yeah, with the retractable roof.
This was not an all thing. We were following your lead on this. You have led us in. This is now something.
K-Moss Miami.
One for all.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's like the soft launch of Mar Miami, which now has a logo. Which, of course, Greg, do you know about Mar Miami?
No, I do not.
Mar Miami is a show cruise that we're going to do.
Wow, I'm there.
Yeah.
Can I drive the boat?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
All right.
You know, you don't have to make a driving the boat joke every time
He
a
wants
cruise.
to drive the boat.
I cannot tell you.
He's a captain.
We just went on a cruise. Once a day, he makes a stupid joke about driving the boat.
I want to drive the boat.
Did you?
I did not.
Wow.
They wouldn't let me.
That's so rude. Who wouldn't? The captain?
The captain. He gave me a breathalyzer. Apparently, I'd had a couple of drinks. It was an all-you-can-drink cruise. It's the only reason he didn't let me drive it.
You get very chatty with the captain, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I love a captain. I love the way they dress. I would dress like an admiral if I could get away
That's
with
how
it.
I should start going to events. That should be I should get
David Robinson?
Billy, I should hire you.
Yes. Like an admiral.
Billy,
he
I
dresses.
should hire you as David Robinson, dressing just like David Robinson. I should hire you as my stylist to wear ridiculous gear at fashionable events so that I would know better about how to present in public. I really wasn't expecting to be taking pictures with anybody. That's my first mistake.
Come on, Dan.
Come on.
Dan,
Every time you go, people take pictures.
I'm going to save you right now. It's called Move In Souls, right? Yeah. This is my buddy Nate Jones, and they created it. They've got Chris Paul on board. They've got Damian Lillard on board. These things will change your life. Move In Souls, get them, and then you can wear whatever fresh kicks you want to wear. No one will ever make fun of your shoes. The shorts and the shirt I can't help you with, but the shoes, you'll get your compliments back.
Okay, I will take your advice, and now I will be dressed by this show in the style of everyone combined. I want you to morph all the styles in this room.
Trying to help you, man.
But just look at all the style in this room. Just jumble it all together. I'm happy to take any fashion advice you guys have so that I could look better.
Here comes a projector again. Old Dan the projector.
I'm legitimately telling you guys that I would like to be a Jackson Pollock painting for whatever it is you think I should be wearing at these events, to be Russell Westbrook of my time, because I don't belong as a fashion icon at an F1 thing. So I'm saying it'd be funny for me to take the advice of all of your styles.
Also, we can get Zach Harper to pick out the perfect pair of Oakleys for you, because, I don't know if you know this, Zach used to work at the Oakley store, so he has like an encyclopedic knowge of all the different sunglass options.
We'll give you the Pat Mahomes.
Is Zach Harper your Charlotte Wilder?
He mentioned Zach Harper a lot as his friend.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for mentioning my co-host on Cinephobe, which was the #2 podcast this week on the Le Batard network after the main show. I'm just throwing it out there.
Well, it's in the main show.
What's Cinephobe?
Well, Cinephobe is the podcast where Zach Harper and I watch movies that are poorly rated on Rotten Tomatoes and try to ascertain whether they're accurately poorly rated or maybe didn't get a fair shake. Cinephobe, produced by Anthony Mays, wherever you get podcasts. And everyone talks about this main show bump. Do you know the greatest main show bump that's ever happened? Well, I'm sorry for working, Chris. I'm sorry.
No, but he knew he was going to the main show.
If you do Pod and he put out 5 episodes in a week, it would probably be up there too.
They do put out 5 episodes
no,
some
we
weeks.
Don't. No, we do not.
Trust me, I'd be watching.
Only if it's going to the main show.
We're not allowed to,
Okay.
Depends on the week. I mean, some weeks 5, some weeks none. You never know. Stupidity.
This is the problem with this company. This is the problem with this company. That you guys
we outwardly say who's doing the best in the rankings. We probably shouldn't be saying any of that.
You follow the lead of this man right here and say, hey, why are you working so hard?
Gary said we can only do 1 episode a week. So.
You're lashing out at all the other podcasts about, word number 2.
Gary told me that.
Who's Gary?
What kind of team is that?
The
Why
kind of
can't I
team
do
that
5?
wants to win, Chris. I want to win.
What do you guys find most interesting about the report that Tom Brady, that the succession plan is in place on Tom Brady is going to be a part of the biggest broadcast? As part of the broadcasting teams, you're going to have Tom Brady retire into a Tony Romo type job.
The first thing I thought of, first off, it's not going to be for a while. I think Tom Brady's still going to play at least 2 or 3 more years. But of all the options Tom Brady has, that has become the option, to be an analyst in an NFL booth, because that's the job. You don't have to work as hard. I'm not saying it's easy, as hard if you are a coach, a team president, any line of business. Once a week, show up, make $10, $15 million a year. What a great gig. That's what he chooses to do in retirement. To me, that's interesting.
Yeah, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed it because the money wasn't
correct
in the stratosphere yet.
Correct.
And because it's hard to picture Brady in a boot. It's hard to picture him.
Yes.
The job almost seems beneath him in some way.
Correct.
But money talks in this case.
Mm-hmm.
Is he going to be good at it?
No, he's not.
No,
Does
I
it
don't
matter?
think so.
It's not going to happen.
It's Brady in the booth.
It's a name. It's a name.
If it happens, it happens for like 1 season max, right? This
Really?
is not going to be
And then he comes back, right?
Yeah. This is not going to happen a long time. Do you think ESPN is like, why the hell did we do a 40-part Tom Brady series just for him to go to Fox?
Yep.
I believe that.
You think Joe Buck is thinking, why'd I go to Fox? I mean, you
Why
get to
did
be
you
in a
leave?
booth with Brady.
Why did I leave Fox?
Yeah. Brady. It's not Aikman.
Oh, God. Did you see the photos of Aikman and the Keys?
Brady.
Shredded.
Dude, Aikman goes on this Dallas Cowboys trip every year in the Keys with Jimmy Johnson. Did you see all the shirts that guys like Dave Campo were wearing? All the coaches were wearing
Campo.
T-shirts.
Dave Campo.
He lives there on Jimmy's boat.
Wansat was there. Jimmy was there. They were all wearing custom-made T-shirts of just Troy Aikman's abs. They would
I gotta
because
see
that
him.
viral
I gotta
photo
see
of Troy Aikman at the working out at the gym, and he has an 8-pack. Everybody that was on that Cowboys staff that was on that boat that seems to be considerably older than Troy Aikman. It's cool that Troy Aikman was just wearing a T-shirt with Aikman's abs on him.
Guys, I have an update on the biggest breaking story of the day. Nick Wright. What? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Like he doesn't know what he just did.
And I also have breaking news on the second biggest story of the day. According to the Washington Post, TJ Oshie will be subject to no further discipline.
Wow.
An American hero.
Not even a
Travesty.
fine.
Travesty.
What?
Campaign against the Cats. We've been saying it.
Oh, my God, these abs.
Do you guys find funny at all that now when the dollars get big, all the same white dude quarterbacks fight over it as the NFL makes the game what it's going to be the next 20 years as America's biggest, and it's going to have Brady and Aikman and Romo and Breeze, and they're going to try and keep making it a go with Breeze so that the older quarterbacks can bring in the next generation of quarterbacks that won't play like them? Do you guys? I mean, I'm not.
Here he is, the projector, ladies and gentlemen.
Do I have it
Please,
wrong?
I
Do
don't want
I-
to have the Akeem Talib conversation again.
No,
I
but-
don't.
no,
Tom
but-
Brady deserves to have whatever job he wants. If he wants that
no,
job, go for it.
Mike, I'm not even being cynical about it. I'm just telling you, hey, isn't this an interesting thing to notice that as the dollars got big, it just got very quickly sucked up by all the same broadcasters and names so that football, the biggest sport that is demanding, they don't have to pay these people this way. Football wishes to be framed this way, and they want to bring it to the next generation. I don't even mean it as criticism. It's smart business. Stugotz, everyone in that sport has been disposable except the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks have been the ones in the commercials. Most people don't know what the great receivers in that league look like by face.
Right. And I mean, the quarterbacks are the stars of that league.
I know
they're the stars of sports.
But they've kept for a dozen guys are the ones in the commercials that keep feeding to mainstream America. Hey, we're your sport. We're your sport, America. We're football. Every once in a while we'll have to run somebody off if he kneels in front of a flag, but we're your sport. We're football. We're Jerry Jones and Dan Snyder and toxic workplace and power protected by the commissioner. And we need to keep this league vibrant and America's most popular. How do we do that? Let's spread these great voices that are beloved heroes and icons. Let's make them the next Terry Bradshaw. And let's make them the next lovable face of football that takes you through your Sunday religion and makes it bigger and bigger and bigger, because now it's Tom Brady and Drew Brees and Sean Payton and all of the same people. I just think it's interesting, and I want you to notice it. Now, you don't have to care. I don't even mean it in this instance as complaint. I'm just saying, like, oh, wow, there goes another great job. Yes, Tom Brady gets to cut the line. Of course he does. On merit, of course he gets to cut the line as soon as the salaries get giant.
You're saying it's all the same people, but these seem to be all new people. Outside of Troy Aikman and Joe Buck switching networks, I actually like the infusion of new blood. This was not better when it was Matt Millen.
Mike, I'm not talking about broadcasting. I'm talking about the bridge to how football is presented to America for the next 15 years. Who's the next Bradshaw? These shows have gotten old, man. These shows with Boomer Esiason on them and Bill Cowher and Jimmy Johnson. These are what's the next 30? They're protecting the next 30 years of we're going to be Amazon. We're going to be Prime. We're going to be bigger and bigger and bigger. You know what? How big? We're so big, we can get Hall of Famer Tom Brady to work for us in a job that Cody's saying is beneath him. It was beneath him. Not with where these salaries are now. It's not anymore because they insist on the framing.
Now it's a perfect job.
They insist on, hey, NBC, ESPN, in the streaming age, you work for us now.
Yeah, but don't you love that these names that weren't really attainable with these jobs before all of a sudden in the game? How many of our Game of the Week Sundays have we spent watching guys like Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Sean Payton? Now they're still part of our Sundays. They are proven ratings hits, right? They are absolutely proven as ratings commodities. So why not bridge to the next generation?
But when you say ratings hits, though, there are no broadcasters that move needle here. Like ratings hits as players, yes.
The NFL is a ratings hit.
I would suggest that CBS would buck up against that take. Their ratings are better with Tony Romo.
Well, the CEO of our company says there is no value there.
I understand what the CEO of our company says, but I also know where ratings were a couple of years before. Now, you could say that's just a byproduct of people being cooped up in their homes, the sport being better, but CBS has quantifiable metrics that say our ratings are better with Tony Romo there.
But I think to Dan's point, you would watch whether Romo's there or not, and we would. We would watch. Yes.
We would.
Yes.
Would other people stay around, or would they be more privy to flip over to Fox?
Romo also gets the best game, so it could be the game gets better ratings.
But the point that I am making, as Romo was first in through the door and did the pioneering, is like, of course, here comes Aikman with his abs to compete with his boys and the legends in this space too. Like, yes, of course, all of them are going to compete. Where Drew Brees trying to get it on the side, not quite good enough. You're not as good as these other guys. Drew, we love you. You're a great quarterback, but you're not quite as good on the air. You're not quite as Cowboy, not quite as Romo, not quite as Aikman. You're a step below, but here comes Brady, and he's going to want to be better than all of them.
Right. Yeah. There's prestige with him. I mean, it's a big get to get Tom Brady.
Question. I know now we all look at Romo as the premier guy. But at the time, did we have those kind of expectations?
No, it was when he started predicting plays and the enthusiasm. That was not – he came in and got that pay raise and changed the game for all of these guys. He just got Brady in the booth is what he did.
He walked in as the number one, and I think part of how it took off for him was we didn't know what to expect with Tony Romo at all. And he started predicting what was going to happen in plays, and he – had a unique style, and that says something for a position that we've heard our entire lives. We've heard color commentary being done a certain way. Tony Romo was giving us something new and exciting. And it was also new and exciting to see a quarterback that was 1 year removed from playing immediately into the booth. It wasn't Matt Millen. It wasn't John Madden, who was tremendous, but he was also 30 years removed from actually taking part in the game. It is fantastic that we're getting guys from the field walking off the field directly into the booth. It's a great innovation.
The other thing about Romo is that, correct me if I'm wrong, he brought a joy to it. Like, you could tell he was having fun in a way that Troy Aikman does a good job, but it doesn't sound like he's having fun.
Why are you talking about Romo like he passed away or something? I mean, he's still doing it.
Speaking of fun,
Brady killed him.
Nickelodeon game on Christmas Day, huh?
Ooh, a Christmas Day Nickelodeon.
Christmas Nickelodeon
Wow.
game. That's fun.
If ESPN wants me to tune in, just put Aikman on the broadcast shirtless.
Yes.
Good God.
Yeah, it's
The
amazing.
tan is perfect.
Thank you,
core
Mike.
strength.
Yeah.
The core strength.
Hands even. Jesus.
I've
does
got to,
great
I
hands.
do have to genuflect before Brady because you guys realize that he has not just secured this retirement whenever he pleases the retirement, but how he's won this game at the very end as just a mercenary, like the handling of the last part of his career. I just want everyone listening to know that this job that he'll get cushy when he retires, it will be very much his part-time job.
Yeah.
Like
He's earned that. Dude.
no, but I'm saying what look at what he's gonna try and conquer his retirement the same way he conquered everything before his retirement.
And he's earned that. Wouldn't you love to see Michael Jordan calling a game? Magic still has the cachet to just show up
Be
on
great.
TV and people
I'd
will
watch.
give him TV jobs just because there's something cool about seeing Magic Johnson weigh in on games. Brady could suck at the job and it would still be an incredibly interesting broadcast, at least initially.
There are certain guys you would tune in to watch them say nothing. And Brady is one of those guys. I don't care if he doesn't say a single word. I'm still watching.
Just sitting there like
I'll
a
be
man,
good.
like
Yep,
a mannequin.
Just stand there. How does he one up Romo, who's telling you the play before the play? He's going to tell you the 3 plays that are going to happen before on first down.
Just by being
Yes.
Brady.
First, second, third punt. Yes.
Yep.
Guys, I figured it out. You guys are looking too far about this. What did Brady do? He retired. What did he do right after that? Unretired. Why? Because he realized I can't be at home 24/7. My wife is going to leave me if I do. So this is what I do. I
boy.
start to set up the
Reckless.
next thing. Honey, I got to go on the road. I got to go call Cowboys versus Packers from Green Bay. This is how he just avoids being at home.